Hello, I'm Jamie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Taskmaster New Zealand Series 3, which is very requested. So it's going to be about how much I liked the series, the tasks, the contestants, and also how much it compared to like Taskmaster New Zealand Series 2 and also the UK one, and just, how good of a show it was on its own. If you haven't seen the third series of Taskmaster New Zealand, then I would highly recommend not watching this video because I'm going to be going into spoilers. But for those of you that haven't watched it, I highly recommend you do watch it because, spoiler alert, it's very good. I think you'll absolutely love it. If you love Taskmaster, you will absolutely love it. So yes, let's get straight into it. So for the contestants, I think I'll just give a little bit of like a brief overview first on what I thought about each of them. As is typical with New Zealand Taskmaster, I don't know any of the comedians, which is part of what makes it, a bit more interesting to me because I have absolutely no idea what to expect from each series. So it's quite exciting. So the first contestant was Chris Parker, and he is an actor, comedian and writer. I really enjoyed him throughout the show. I thought he was a fantastic contestant, perfectly suited for Taskmaster. I loved his Boy Scout uniform, and again we've kind of got that running joke of it being like from Brinley from Series 1 of wearing kind of like Hitler Youth costumes, and obviously that became kind of like a running joke throughout the series, like Series 3, especially the first few episodes, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. I loved his sarcastic sense of humour so much. I liked how he got on with like all the contestants. He was very you could obviously tell that he was friends with them all, but he was very good at kind of being friendly and also like making like funny remarks about their performance in the task. So I thought it was great. He was very fun throughout the entire show and like very good at the tasks as well. He was fantastic the entire way through. I liked that he was very unpredictable with how he would approach tasks, which I always like. Next up was Thompson, and he is an actor and comedian. He was just naturally brilliant at the tasks, like consistently. Obviously he had some weak spots, but he was genuinely very good throughout the show and also very funny. This kind of links to Chris as well. Like sometimes when you've got somebody who is really good at the tasks, sometimes their humour isn't quite up there. But I thought with these two, they were both very funny and also very good at the task. Like they both had that perfect balance. The running joke between him, like not running joke of him being like oddly sexual and violent towards these mannequins was a very funny joke, and I love that he was also kind of seemed a bit embarrassed by some of his actions in the tasks, which I thought was very funny. I thoroughly enjoyed his performance throughout the series. I thought he was great. Next up was Justine Smith, and she is a comedian, I think mainly stand-up comedian. And again, I absolutely loved her. I thought she was brilliant. I thought she was very funny. She kind of had a good mix of kind of being not half-assed, but kind of half-assing the tasks and being a bit like flippant with it, but also like having fun with it and trying hard as well. Like it's not like she kind of had a good mix. I never knew what to expect with her. I thought she was very funny, like consistently. I really liked a lot of her approaches to the tasks, and one of the things that I will get into later when I talk about what I didn't like about this series is that I do feel like she was criminally underscored throughout the whole series, and I think she took it very well, which you will see sometimes a lot of contestants kind of making a fuss when they don't get the points that they want, whereas I felt like she took it very well, and seemed to really enjoy doing the tasks, and I really liked I just enjoyed it. I thought a lot of some of the ways that she completed the tasks were very creative, even though if she wasn't quite the best at it. Next up is Forrester, and she is another comedian, actor, writer. I think she was absolutely fantastic throughout the series. She was very funny. I think she's possibly my favourite. Between her and Chris, I thought both of them were just hilarious. I love them both. I like that she was kind of unpredictable as well with the way she did her tasks. And also I didn't know what she was going to say at any point. And she surprised me a lot. She did put a lot of effort into the tasks, which I like to see. And I absolutely loved her story about the dominoes. I thought that was one of the best stories ever. And I love the way she told it as well. And last but not least is Paul Ego, and he is a comedian and radio presenter. He kind of played that role of being the older, clueless, kind of not really know what's going on contestant at some parts, especially in the first half of the series. There was loads of tasks where he just didn't really get what he should be doing, which was very hilarious to watch. And I'm very surprised that he didn't come last, and I think if it wasn't for Justine being underscored, then he would have come last. That's not to say he didn't have some absolutely fantastic moments in the show, and I think he did win an episode. So yeah, all of the contestants are a win for me. I thought they were all very, very, very good. So I'm just going to talk a bit about what I liked about the show, and this is going to be a long list. And I'm mainly going to talk about the tasks. But first, what do I think of Jeremy and Paul this series? So Jeremy, I thought kind of was very much similar to his past few series. I really did enjoy him. I thought for the most part his scoring was good, and he had like a good kind of banter with the contestants throughout the like live studio bits. I think he really is settling into the Taskmaster role. However, I think some of his scoring was very odd, but overall he was very good, very strong. He's definitely developed his own style of being the Taskmaster. Paul, I think, was just absolutely amazing. I love Paul so much. A lot of the times he is the highlight of the episode. I love his awkward energy. Not even just like awkward, he's just bizarre a lot of the time, and I absolutely love him. I love the way that he has taken Alex's like awkward personal assistant role and completely made it his own without losing that kind of weirdness and kind of thing that Alex has. But he's completely made it his own. I absolutely love him, and he's fantastic. So on to the tasks. So overall, I thought it was a very, very strong set of tasks consistently. There wasn't really any task that I was disappointed by or let down by or thought wasn't very good. Obviously, there were stronger tasks and weaker tasks, but none that I was like, oh, this is rubbish task. I did enjoy every single one. I think the tasks allow the contestants to all kind of take a different approach. There aren't really many tasks I can think where like they all did the same thing or anything like that. I thought everybody was allowed to be creative, think outside the box, and also have traps that they could all fall into, which so very, very good for that. They had a very good mix of kind of like your active physical tasks, smart thinking tasks, your creative ones, and your team tasks. I do think there was probably less team tasks this series, just thinking about it, but I don't think it was really a bad thing. I think it fit really well into the overall show, and also there was a lot of kind of like connecting tasks which I really, really liked. So first example would be the mystery task, the hidden task actually that Chris got. So that was when he found it while doing the superhero task, and then did that task on the hide the body task. So that all fit very well. And onto the hide the body task, that I think was one of my favourite moments in this show. It was so, so good. So there was so many connecting things. So obviously the first one in this task was they had a dummy and they had to make it into their best friend with a backstory. I thought that was a fantastic task. I really, really liked it. It was something so simple, but everyone was so different and creative, and amazing. And then they had to hit the apple on top of the dummy's head with like all these like medieval tools, which was very fun. It reminded me of when in series 9 of the UK Taskmaster, when they had to make something precious out of clay and then run it over with a steamroller. Well, they didn't have to, but they did. And then they had to hide that body in the episode after, which then Chris took that dummy home, put it in his prize task, which is the best baffling mystery, and the reveal of that was amazing. I think every series of New Zealand Taskmaster has had a mind-blowing moment. So in series 1, it was when they had that costume reveal. Series 2, oh god, there were so many moments in series 2. Maybe the caravan task, I think that was probably the best moment for me. I love the caravan task so much, the grape task, and I think that is this is that moment for me. It just blew my mind. I thought it was so funny. I absolutely loved it. And speaking of series 2, we got a return of David Correos. I always love it when we get contestants from the previous series like reappearing again. Last series we had it with Angela returned, so that was really fun. And we've got David Correos, who obviously I think for most people was the highlight of series 2, and so he reappeared in perfect David Correos fashion, half naked painted as wallpaper, and I think it just fits so well. And again, the reveal of that was very, very funny. Seeing everybody's reactions to finding him, just fantastic. Absolutely loved it. And again, that task was similar to a UK task where they had, in series 5, they had to blow up a balloon with like this scene in front of them, and then that scene changed and they had to say all the differences. So I have mentioned a few tasks where it's been kind of like thinking about ones from the UK Taskmaster. So there are a few, not copies, I don't want to say that word, but, you know, redos of tasks that we've had in the UK version. And one thing that I think they're doing really well is transforming those tasks into something like completely unique. Like they could have, like some shows might have just completely copied it and done it exactly the same, but I like that they've taken the concept of, they're not supposed to know that they're memorising something to then know that, then to have to like memorise and point out differences. And I think they're doing a really good job of taking the core like trick of a task or the core aim of a task and turning it into something completely their own and very much distinct from the UK Taskmaster. So I think, again, that is just incredible from the team of New Zealand Taskmaster. I think they're doing a great job. I loved all of the tasks, like the tricky tasks or the ones with twists in them. The trick and treat one was fantastic. I absolutely loved that. I would have loved to see who was actually behind that mask. I thought that was good. I liked the one where they had to pick a card from Paul's deck of cards and and make a flag of the one that was written down, not the one that the flag was shown. I thought that was so smart. And again, I love the reveal of that and like everybody realising what they'd done, apart from Josh, of course, because he'd done it perfectly. I also really liked the caravan task where they had to complete the task. This is not the task, with all of them around. I thought that was amazing. And yeah, I really, really like tasks like that. And also tasks where they have to kind of work out what the other contestants are going to do. So for a very simple task, give Paul money, most amount of money wins. And them trying to work out like how much will I give them. Like Chris gave £101 because like someone's probably going to do 100. Yeah, and then everyone thinking that Paul was going to give loads of money and then him giving like literally nothing. So I love tasks like that. And you know, they did a purposefully one where it was the touching the cow, and I can't remember all the exact like who came what position, but they had to work out and try and touch it at the right time so that they came 4th, I think, to get the total amount of points. Yeah, I also thought the creative tasks were very strong this series. There wasn't as many of them as we've had in like previous series, and I don't think there was like a song task, unless I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, there wasn't as many creative tasks, but the creative tasks they did have were very good. So my favourite one was the blockbuster one. That was amazing. I feel like everybody should have got 5 points for that. I don't know why Jeremy scored it as did like that. I feel like everybody should have got 5 points. The whole thing was incredible because everybody had like a good idea. And I also really liked the game show task and the superhero task, particularly the game show one actually as well. You could tell that they all had a lot of fun doing that one, and also having that twist of it being kind of having to be related to or sponsored by something random that they pick out of a box. And I also just loved that Paul wanted to waterboard Paul. Yeah, I absolutely love that. I love it when just a contestant seems to go a bit mad for a second, and it was very, very funny to watch. There was also quite a few like complicated tasks. I really liked the touch the cow one that I mentioned before. I really liked the pat Paul on the back task. That one was very, very good. Again, it kind of a remake of a British Taskmaster task, but done again, like I said, in a way that's completely different. The idea of having like a really zoomed in camera was very, very good. I thought, yeah, it just gave them a bit more of a chance. But yeah, I thought Justine's effort in that one was amazing. And also Paul thinking of bringing the carpet along, that was great, even though he did think of it like really, really late in the tasks. But I did really like that as well. I think the prize tasks were as good as prize tasks are going to get really at this point. Again, not really many people take them too seriously. And I think this set of contestants, it wasn't kind of like Series 10 UK Taskmaster where it was just abysmal the entire way through. Some tasks are really good, particularly the one where Chris bought a holiday for somebody, I can't remember the exact one, and like the Desert Island one I liked as well. There were a lot of really good tasks in that as well. But again, the prize task isn't really the biggest moment of the show. It's just like an introductory one to allow the contestants to kind of tell some jokes, tell a story, and have a bit of fun, really. There was no solo task in this series, excluding like the hidden one that Chris did. There was no solo task, which again, if they're following what the UK one does, is they don't do on every series, because then people expect there's going to be a solo task, and I don't think they're going to top the solo one from last year. So yeah, not disappointed by that, but just something I noticed. I think that is everything about the tasks I wanted to talk about. There was a lot of things. I really enjoyed the task series, if you couldn't tell. Oh, and also, yeah, this series had the first ever tie break in the New Zealand Taskmaster, which I had not noticed that there wasn't tie breaks before. I was really hoping Justine would win so that she would win an episode. I think, yeah, the live tasks were good as well. I think the final one was a bit anticlimactic for the finale episode. You know, the deciding points was drawn by people pulling out tissues of a box. I probably would have gone for a different task as a final one. Maybe the one where they were had to push a random item across the stage. That was really fun. Maybe the one where they had to put stuff in their pockets and follow his orders. I like that as a final task. I think would have been better. But yeah, again, the final tasks were fun. A lot of the time, very high energy and very fun to watch. And, you had that tension of who's going to win. So I think overall the live tasks were really good as well. Right, that I think is everything I liked, which is pretty much the entire show. But I do have a few complaints. Not really complaints, but minor little issues. The first one is that I found it a bit slow to get going. Not necessarily with the quality of the tasks, but just how long it took the contestants to kind of get out of their shell a bit, get a bit more comfortable, and get a bit more crazy. Whereas with series 2 of Taskmaster New Zealand, they were just crazy, chaotic from the get-go. And obviously they're not always going to be able to replicate that, so I completely understand. And I feel like we did get there towards the end. But yeah, it was just a bit slow to get going. When I watched the first episode, I was like, oh, okay, it's good. I didn't really feel like an instant connection with the contestants, but that soon changed, and I absolutely love them. I love all the contestants. They're so amazing. But yeah, that was just something I noticed. It did take me a bit longer to get into the show than it has done previously. But yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess. My biggest complaint, which I have obviously mentioned a few times, is that I think Justine was so underscored and often harshly treated by Jeremy. I don't know if they have a existing relationship outside of the show, or friendship or something like that, where they do have that kind of banterous relationship, because sometimes that we've seen with Greg, with people that he knows more outside the show, sometimes they do get harsh and more harshly treated, but this felt completely different to that. I think it was just kind of putting her down a bit. I don't know. Maybe this is me just being a bit too emotional, looking into it. It seemed like no matter how much effort she put into it, it just was never kind of good enough, even though her performance in the task was better than the other contestants. I think one of the most notable examples was the trick or treat task. The points was weird between her and Kura, because he gave Justine 1 point and Kura 2 points, but they both gave them the same thing, so a bowl of sweets, but then Justine also gave him something else, which was I can't even remember what it was, but she gave him something else, and for some reason Justine gets 1 point less for giving him more than the sweets, which was just really bizarre to me. I didn't understand. And also with the blockbuster task, I think out of all the tasks that give people everybody the same amount of points would be that one, because the superhero task, they all got the same amount of points. And there was another one where they all got 5 points. I can't remember off the top of my head now. But that one was so good. That task worked because they all connected so well to each other. And I think, if I remember correctly, Justine's one connected into the next one more than anybody else's, because of the whole poisoned apple thing. So why she got 1 point is beyond me. There were a few moments where the other contestants were trying to help her, in the final task where she couldn't find her tissue with the word she had to say on it. They were all helping her look for it. In the tiebreak task, Chris looked genuinely gutted that he had won instead of her. Oh yeah, the other one where they all got 5 points was the bring the doppelganger in. And I really like that task, and I get why he gave 5 points each, because it wasn't just like them, it was like also the people that had come on the show. But I thought Justine's one was amazing, and the fact that she was wearing like this massive, like incredible like drag queen get up for the entire episode was very, very funny. And I really liked kind of seeing the reveal of why she was wearing that. And the fact that I feel like she should have got like an extra point, or, you know, she got 5 points and the others got 4. I don't know. So I think that's everything I wanted to say. Apart from just, yeah, I really, really liked it. I thought it was such a fantastic series. Was it better than series 2? I don't know. I did really enjoy both series. I think series 2 fit my kind of personal sense of humour a bit more. I just loved how chaotic and crazy and high energy it was the entire time. But series 3, I thought, like I said, the tasks were all fantastic. And I think the comedians were really, really good as well. It's had a different energy to series 2. So obviously you can have a preference to which one you enjoyed the most. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like how kind of loud series 2 was. But I really, really liked series 3. I liked the competitiveness. I think it was a very good level. I liked how close it was between Chris and Josh throughout the entire series. I wish there kind of was a third one that was kind of in the game as well, or that just other contestants got to win a few episodes. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, then please give it a like and comment down below your thoughts on Taskmaster New Zealand Series 3. And subscribe if you want to see more videos to do with Taskmaster. Thank you for watching. Bye.